Well, hey there, guys. Welcome to Story Time. I'm Cerise Fairfax. This is my channel. If you are new here, then get ready. When we do story time, we talk about love, lies, lust, and lessons. Hey guys, I'm Cerise, and this is Story Time. If it is your first time joining me, thank you so much for clicking on this video. We do Story Time every Wednesday and Saturday. Some Saturdays, I will just post and remix a story from before because I do have a Story Time playlist, so make sure you guys check it out. It'll be in the description. If story time is your thing, then I am certain that you will love a lot of the stories on my playlist. Now, today's story comes from a scorned woman. She lives in Santo Domingo, and she lives there with her husband. This scorned woman is definitely scorned. She's American. Let's get into her story after we get into this sponsor. And right now, I am actually using this product and I love it. Today's sponsor is Toma This Digital Thermos. It's fabulous. It's for coffee, tea, juice, even beer if you like, or some nice cold white wine or whatever it is you drink. You can just pack it in this beautiful thermos and it will stay hot and cold. And not only that, it will let you know what temperature it is when you press it. It's such a great gadget. I love it. Order yours today. All right, guys, let's get into the story right now. Hi there, my name is Lisa, and I live in America, but my stepchild lives in the Dominican Republic. My husband went to the Dominican Republic. He wasn't my husband yet. We were just newly dating for like about 2 months. We weren't really exclusive, but we did know that we were going to get more serious. He went on a trip with his buddies and he impregnated a Dominican woman. He came back home from his trip with the boys, and she contacted him and told him she was pregnant. Of course, I thought she was lying, and I made him get tests once the baby was born. He did, and he doesn't want her. He doesn't want her. He loves his baby. The baby's 5 now. So for 5 years, we've been going back and forth to the Dominican Republic and then back to America. A lot of people ask me if I like the Dominican Republic, and I have to be honest with you, I don't know. Because we get off the plane, first thing we do is we plan our entire vacation there for work purposes. We have to go to the courts. We have to speak to lawyers. Sometimes we have to extend our trip because some lawyers are not available. It is a shit show nightmare. That is that. And no, I don't enjoy going to the Dominican Republic for that reason. And I think I am traumatized from even going to the Caribbean. Now, when he got this woman pregnant, again, it was the beginning of our relationship. So there was not much I could do except either throw him away or accept him. I should have thrown him away. I should have thrown his ass to the curb, but I didn't. And here I am. So after about a year, the woman was complaining that we weren't giving enough money and she knew he had a wife. I don't want children, to be honest with you myself. Like, this has turned my guts, but I did say to him, why don't we bring the child here? So we did. We spoke to the mom. We went down to the Dominican Republic. We promised her that she would be able to come visit the baby in America. We would send for her, even get her a visa. We promised her that, a lot of things. And we kept a lot of the promises except for the visa because it was difficult. It was on her end. But we did bring the baby to America and we did take care of the baby for 2 years. And we still sent her $100 a month for herself because why? I have no clue. My husband said it was hard for her to give up the baby. And I said, well, without the baby, she can go get a job. And he said it's hard for her to get a job. Can you believe that? This woman is working on the streets, if you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure she's making her money. But he's sending her that, was sending her that $100 a month, I think, just to shut her up and make her feel like it's still there, it's still a connection, so she's not losing her child. Well, after about, you know, I never really was the maternal type. I want to be honest with you all listening to this story. I'm not the maternal type. I'm not trying to be a mother of anyone's child, but that's my husband's child. And so I tried, but I couldn't do it. I wasn't about to go home. I live a career life. I wasn't going to go home and cook for a kid. So my husband, he had to do it. And, he had a pretty hectic job as well. And then when we got a caretaker to come into the house, we got someone that was Dominican, American Dominican, and we moved them into our beautiful home. We opened up our basement to them, renovated everything, and then, this woman decided that she's going to go back to the Dominican Republic. And we were stuck for childcare. We didn't know what to do. My husband started to feel bad for his child. So the mother decided that she was fit enough all of a sudden to take the child back to the Dominican Republic. And to be honest with you, I was happy because I was now able to go home, get in the house, take my heels off, put down my bags, and just strip in my living room and cook naked once again. That's what I love doing. I put an apron on. My husband gets home and he sees the food cooked, nothing but an apron on me. That's our life. We don't live a life with children. We are not people that ever wanted children. He doesn't even want any more children, my husband said. It was just a one off, and he's happy he has that child because he loves his child, but at the same time, he doesn't want any more. So we sent the kid back down to the Dominican Republic with the mom, and now the mom wants money all the time. I am not about to make my life about trips going back and forth to the Dominican Republic once again. We did that in the beginning. Fiscalia this, Fiscalia that. Those are the courts. And then lawyers this, lawyers that. Nothing got worked out. And at the end of the day, the mom ended up letting the child come to us anyway. Now that the child's back in the Dominican Republic, all of a sudden prices have skyrocketed, so the mom says, and she can't afford clothing any longer. So I told my husband, we're not putting money in her hand at all. We are going to the Dominican Republic and we're going to bring down suitcases full of clothing. And we did. And guess what she did? She sold it. She sold the clothing. We brought down suitcases full. We even paid for extra suitcase storage. And I made sure that all of these clothes were his sizes and a little bit bigger. So we didn't have to buy any more anytime soon. Well, she contacts us at Christmas time and says that he needs some clothing. He outgrew the other clothing. I grabbed the phone from my husband and I said to her, "You're a liar." And I speak a little bit of Spanish, so I worked my Spanish over on her and I told her she is a liar. Mentira. I told her that she is a liar and that those clothes that we sent down should be good enough for an entire year. And we sent down a lot. And she said, because she didn't have any money, she had to sell some of the clothes. Could you imagine that? That's a lie. Because not only do we send down the clothes and took down the clothes, we also send money every month. We send $200 a month to her. Now, that is a lot of money. I've been to the Dominican Republic and I've seen how she lives and I see where she lives. And she refuses to live anywhere else. My husband told her that he'll pay half her rent if she moves out of the barrio, the hood that she lives in. And she refuses to move from there because she would only be able to go halves on rent for a studio apartment. That money, she said, every month she can put into her mother's pocket. I don't believe that. Her mother's pocket. Why would she want to put it into her mother's pocket? This is a full grown woman. Why wouldn't she want to have her own separate apartment? her own separate house. Who cares if it's a studio apartment? My husband's trying to convince me that it's family and that Dominicans love each other like that and they don't mind living all in the house together like that. But I think there's something else going on. And I told my husband that. And he said to me, well, why wouldn't she just lie and say, okay, she has a place and get more money from him? Because he offered to pay half the rent. I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. I don't trust this woman as far as I can throw her. And she knows that because whenever we're together, she can see that I'm angry and I don't talk to her and I don't even talk to the kid. I don't even want to have anything to do with that side of my husband's life. But because he's such an idiot and he can't deal with it on his own, I have to deal with it. I'm tired of it. I spoke to a few people and I'm trying to see if my husband has to pay support while he's living in America. Because, as far as I'm concerned, if we never go to the Dominican Republic again, he may never have to pay anything again. Why do we even have to go there? And I told him that. Just disconnect all ties. And he told me he can't. He told me that's his child. I'm disgusted, I'm disturbed, and I am definitely determined to leave this man and kick him to the curb. I deserve better. So, guys, that's a different story, right? I know I had to bring it to you like that, as I know you guys are going to go on to the comments below and you guys are going to give your peace of mind. And I think sometimes people need that. When this woman contacted me, I'm a soul coach as well. And I said to her, you can't blame it on the child and you got to give the child love, like don't feel that the child is worthless. And she said she doesn't. She just doesn't want to be a mom and she doesn't want a child to be any part of her life. And I told her, well, she has to accept the inevitable. Her husband has a child and that's it. At the end of the day, it's up to her to either stay or leave. If she doesn't like the situation, she needs to get out of the situation, is what I told her. Don't make the situation bad for the child, for the mother, and also, most importantly, for her husband. Her husband is stuck between a rock and a hard spot, and she's not making it any more comfortable for him. And so I thought, yeah, I am going to do this story. And yes, I am going to wait for you guys to comment on it. So let us know down below. Men, what would you guys do if you had a woman like that? Let her know. All right, guys, take care. Huge hugs, loads of love, big blesses. Welcome to Story Time. If this is your first time at Story Time and you like this, please take a moment to subscribe. It's a free way to help the channel out. Alrighty, blesses.